Hey folks, it's Jang here from JangBricks.com with a look at the 2014 version of the Snowspeeder from LEGO's Star Wars series. This came with 278 pieces. The last year that we got a Snowspeeder from LEGO was, well, last year, 2013 in the Battle of Hoth set. And the build of this one right here is not very much different from that version. There are mostly subtle changes to it. I think the most obvious thing that's visible from the outside is that this area of the lasers has been beefed up quite a bit. It's much more bulky now. But if you just do some side-by-side comparisons, a lot of the other things are part for part the same or have just very small changes. They've changed the stickers ever so very slightly, but I think this really just shows that they got the model right. You know, over time they've just improved and improved and improved, trying to get this thing to work in minifig scale and actually be able to hold two minifigs in it comfortably. And they've gotten to the point where now they only need small little tweaks. I think the single most significant change with this set is back here with the harpoon, because now they have the spring-loaded little stud shooter cannon back here, which to me visually is a big step down. It just doesn't look that great as a turret sort of item. It has a little bit of ability to angle it up and down. I don't think that's intentional, just part of how it's built to get it at that angle. But it does actually shoot. They do give you 4 extra light bluish studs that you can use to actually shoot off, using that in blaster form. It's a little bit tough with the way that it can move up and down to get it to shoot, so just go ahead and push it down to its lower position and then you can shoot that off. I think that little gun works pretty well for younger kids, for play value with the minifigs. I'm not sure I like it on a vehicle or on a craft like this, but the cool thing about it is that it will shoot not only studs, but anything with a stud attached. So you've got this harpoon now that's held by a little clip piece. You can put that in there and then you can actually shoot off that. However, of course, it's not going to pull out the wire, so you need to get all of your cord here, and that's kind of tough to pull on. There's a ton of friction in there. You need to pull that out as far as you need for whatever you're going to do first. Bring the harpoon back and try not to get the string all tied up. Let me get that laid out like that, and now to shoot it. Okay, it works. Here's another attempt trying to get it at a higher angle and faster. Of course, where you really want to use the harpoon is going against an AT-AT walker. And yes, you can definitely pronounce it AT-AT if you like, but the official pronunciation from Lucasfilm and also used in the LEGO commercials and also by the vast majority of people in the world is AT-AT. Before I show the harpoon demonstration though, kind of how that tries to work, yes, this is the relative size of the two models. Nowhere near close to appropriate scale, obviously, just a matter of reasonability, because to make an AT-AT walker appropriate scale to minifigs, it would be enormous and it would cost thousands of dollars and take weeks to build. So you do have to deal with things being a little bit funky in scale. I'm okay with that though. It makes sense. The harpoon action, it's not going to work the way that you saw in Empire Strikes Back. Unless you're super skilled or super lucky, I think, and very fast. But basically, you want to be going past the thing with the harpoon angled, the shooter angled off to the side a little bit, and then shoot it just as you get past the leg. So it would be something like this. Here's another angle of the same thing, so you can see how far it goes out. Yeah, see, it actually will shoot past both legs if you want, but the idea is that you want to just go around and cheat just a little bit, grab this, drop it over the leg like that, and as you pull it up, it should get caught. Sometimes it won't, unfortunately, but a lot of the time it will. It's not the best design for actually working like a harpoon, but there you go, that's what you want. And then you would fly the thing around. Of course, I'm not getting the right angles out of it, but you would fly the thing around and eventually drop it off. Now, here's another question. How do you drop it off? There's no way to release the cable. So you actually have to pull the entire winch off, and then you can just do a thing like that. Not the most elegant thing. I appreciate that they tried. Really needed to use a much longer a longer piece of string for this, and there are a lot of things that just kind of, you know, make it a little bit tough to pull off. But again, I appreciate the attempt. The ship also has forward-facing spring-loaded shooters down here, the larger ones, the newer ones, and those are supposed to replicate forward-facing blasts coming from the two main turbo lasers. And you know, obviously the blasts aren't actually going to come from here, and I'm glad that they hid them away, because they don't detract from the look of the thing at all unless you're looking at it from the back. And you can just leave out the bolts if you want, the laser bolts, but it makes for a nice little play feature that is well integrated, lines up well with the realistic lasers on there, and it doesn't get in the way. I think it's just a positive thing. Dangerous though. The cockpit can be opened all as one together like this, or you can open up just the front section if you like, but that's really not recommended. The joints here are really just to accommodate this piece that already has the hinges built in. So really you want to open it up like this. And there's a look at the inside of the cockpit, so you can see you've got a nice little angled piece in the front with a little bit of a console detail there, a straight up and down one in the back with the targeting readout. It looks like he's looking through the window, and you can fit two guys in there, pilot and gunner. In order to fit the cockpit down there, I mean, it's just barely fitting over their heads. You really have to push them down as far as they'll go, and the gunner has to have his arms up like this, unfortunately, just because of the width of them. There's not quite enough room, but once he's in there, you can't really see the arms. You see his head from the top, and you kind of can see his face from the back, but I think it works out okay. And there's what it looks like from some other different angles that you would see more frequently. Yeah, that works for me. Oh, let me not forget about the air brakes. Those are important. I did take the time to put those in there, and there's a little sticker underneath to show you some of the interior bits. You notice I did hold down with one finger on the clip piece that's holding it on. It's because if you're too quick with this, you can pretty easily pop that piece off. You can see it almost got loose right there, but you know, it's nice to have the little posability with the little flaps. For the bad guys, they give you something very small in this set. The good news is that this actually is able to take down a Snowspeeder. It's the good old classic heavy E-Web transportable cannon, or large blaster, heavy blaster. And I think it looks pretty good. I think it makes sense with its proportions for minifig scale. You know, it's not the most, once again, not the most scale thing really, but when you compare it to the minifigs themselves, it kind of fits in with their already kind of comedic scale and proportions. I think that looks pretty good. The only miss here is that these are supposed to be operated by two snow troopers, and they only give us one in this set. 3 minifigs in total, left to right: Luke, Dak, and a snow trooper. But these are all new configurations for 2014. Got some pretty nicely detailed torsos. The new snow trooper helmet is probably going to be very controversial in the community. You know, there's always the nostalgia effect where folks who liked a certain thing are automatically going to dislike anything that's new, but there are some objective reasons why some folks might not like the new snow trooper helmet, mostly because this is all a flat area of the goggles. It's all flat on the front, and they just try to print in a little bit of the shape there. I like the overall look here. I'm not sure if I like this personally better than the older one. I like how things kind of flow down, the shapes of the sides flow down around the mask pretty well, but I don't know about what they've done with the goggles. Looking at these from the back, so you can see some asymmetry to the shapes there, and a nice little pack on the back of the snow trooper also. There's a look at the alternate faces for Dak and Luke, both pretty good looking. Kind of sad though about Dak, because that's pretty much his face when he's about to get shot and killed in the movie. So I don't know if that was the best idea for them to put that face on there. And for the snow trooper, you can see they're using the angry clone head. So there you go, that's my look at this set. Offers a bunch of very small improvements or changes, at least, over the 2013 version. Major improvements over previous versions, especially compared to previous ones that were offered by themselves. And I think it's just a nice set that does good justice to the original in-movie model. Please share your thoughts with the rest of the viewing community. Always good to see more different people's opinions. And it's time for me to build some more stuff and bring you some more videos. I'll be talking to you again very soon.